Hey everyone, today we're going to dive into something really cool from Google. It's a process that sounds almost impossible, taking what could be months of work and squeezing it all into just 5 days. It's called the design sprint, and trust me, it's an incredible tool for getting things done. So, let's jump right in.
Does this look familiar? I mean, have you ever been stuck in a project that just goes on and on and on? You're caught in these endless meetings, these endless debates, and that launch date just keeps getting pushed further and further away. It's a super common frustration, right? We've all been there. And really, this quote hits the nail on the head. In today's world, companies just can't afford to sink months, or even years, and a ton of money into a big idea, only to find out nobody wants it when it finally launches. The stakes are just way too high. We need a smarter way to figure out if we're on the right track.
So that's the real problem, isn't it? This fear of wasting all that time, all those resources, it becomes this massive roadblock that stops new ideas in their tracks. So how do you test a huge idea without making a huge, risky bet? How do you get real answers, fast?
Well, this is the answer, the design sprint. It was developed at Google Ventures, and it's this super intense, super focused 5-day process. It is literally engineered to take you from a huge, critical business question all the way to a realistic prototype that you can test with actual users. And it does it all in one work week.
And I'm not exaggerating when I say it's a game changer. This thing completely flips the script on how we think about product development and innovation. Let's take a look at how it actually pulls this off. This right here is the magic of the whole thing. The design sprint looks at that normal, messy, tangled product development cycle, all the back and forth, the arguments, the slow progress, and it just compresses it. All of that gets squeezed into 5 highly structured, incredibly productive days.
So, what actually happens during those 5 days? It's not just chaos, I promise. Let's pull back the curtain and break down the week so you can see the structured process that makes it all work. Okay, this visual gives us the perfect roadmap. You can see on Monday and Tuesday, it's all about understanding the problem from every angle, and then sketching out tons of different solutions. Then, Wednesday and Thursday, that's when you decide which idea is the strongest and you actually build a prototype. And then comes Friday, the grand finale. You validate that prototype by putting it in front of real users to get their honest gut reactions.
So let's just quickly walk through those 5 phases again. It all kicks off with understanding, getting everyone in the room on the exact same page about the problem. Then you move to sketching, where everybody works alone to come up with solutions. This is key because it avoids that classic groupthink problem. After that, the team comes back together to decide which idea has the most promise. Day 4 is a mad dash to prototype, to build something that looks and feels real. And finally, the moment of truth, validation. That's where you get that priceless, unfiltered feedback from real people. It's a clear path from a fuzzy idea to a sharp insight.
Now, this is probably my favorite part, the whole philosophy behind the sprint. It's set up so that no matter what the outcome is, you walk away with something incredibly valuable. It's this crazy idea that you really can't lose.
This quote just nails it. The real point of the sprint isn't just to find a winning idea, it's to learn as fast as possible with the smallest possible investment. A so-called failure after just 5 days, that's actually a massive win for the business. So let's talk about that first outcome, efficient failure. Think about it. You find a fatal flaw in your big idea in 5 days instead of after 6 months and a giant pile of cash. That's not failure at all. That's incredibly smart learning that just saved you from making a huge, expensive mistake down the road.
Then you have outcome number 2, the flawed success. This happens all the time. Maybe your users absolutely loved one part of your prototype, but another part just completely confused them. That's fantastic news. You don't have to guess what to do next. You now have a crystal clear, user-backed roadmap for what to fix and improve. And then, of course, there's the one we're all shooting for, the epic win. This is when you put the prototype in front of users and they just get it. They love it. The feedback is amazing, and you have real data showing that your idea has serious potential. Now you can move forward and invest in building it for real with a ton of confidence that you're on the right track.
So, now that you've got this powerful framework in your back pocket, the real question is, what are you going to do with it? What's your next move?
Because at the end of the day, the design sprint is so much more than just a 5-day process. It's really a shift in your mindset. It's about learning fast and taking the risk out of innovation. And once you get that down, it's a stepping stone to tackling even bigger, more complex challenges.
Once you really embrace this way of thinking, of validating ideas quickly,
You can start applying it to some of the most exciting fields out there today, like building an AI product strategy or working with generative AI. The sprint becomes this foundational skill that lets you navigate these new, complicated areas with a lot more certainty.
If you're looking to keep that learning journey going and explore even more strategies that are shaping the future, a fantastic resource is the AI Product Management Playbook. It's a great way to plug into a network of leaders and stay right on the cutting edge. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this look at the Google Design Sprint.